Ladies, gentlemen, and lady gentlemen's, and here I went from depressed and suicidal to living a life of abundance and joy. If I can do it, you sure as hell can too. I did a video recently telling all of you to dump your number one struggle, the thing that you're struggling with the most, and I would record you all a voice message each and answer your questions. My God, a lot of you replied, and so I thought what I would do is squish a few of them into YouTube videos. Otherwise, I'm going to fall behind on doing my own content for this channel, so I thought, why not combine them into the same? So I will answer all of your questions in videos, and let's start with this one by Icebreaker7738. And your questions or your struggles here are very freaking common, my man. I will start by saying that. So he says, finding a girlfriend is my biggest struggle. I get tons of rejections during cold approach. I did 500 approaches, only 7 dates, but they failed because there was no second date. I am 29 years old, unkissed. I am 5'6" in height. I have no muscle, but a little bit of skinny fat. Can you give me advice, please, on how I can get a girlfriend? I love your content, by the way. Okay, so I am going to teach you. I'm going to drill into your head, my friend, the difference between playing to win versus playing not to lose. A lot of what you have written here is you playing not to lose, or focusing on the so-called losses, focusing on the failures, focusing on the rejections to the point where you're obsessed about them, instead of focusing on the victories and the ways in which you are winning. So in my Play to Win video course, that's this course right here, which, by the way, if you don't have a copy, I highly freaking recommend grabbing a copy. You can pay whatever you want for it, including $1. There is this chapter, I think it's like the second chapter in the video course, called Play to Win instead of Playing Not to Lose. And what I put in here is exactly what you're doing right now. And that's okay. This is what most people do. You're focusing on the losses. You are obsessing about your fears. You are obsessing about rejection, loss, failure, and that disempowers you and drags you down, because all you can see is, man, this isn't working. It makes you feel hopeless. It makes you feel very lost, like you're never going to actually get that victory that you're seeking. Again, if we focus on what you wrote, only 7 dates, but they failed. You're focusing on failures. I get tons of rejection. Who gives a fuck how many rejections you get? Like, what does that matter? We only care about the fact that you got 7 dates. That's incredible. That's insane. What an amazing victory. But you're too busy focusing on, I didn't get any second dates of them. Who gives a shit? You got 7 first dates. Let's at least be grateful for the victories that you had and celebrate the wins. What do you feel when you celebrate those wins? You feel a sense of motivation, of momentum, of like, wow, look at all these victories. Yeah, you know what? I am grateful for the fact that 7 women went on a date with me. That's incredible. I literally have never had sex with anyone. I've never kissed anyone. And I'm grateful for the fact that I'm courageous enough to go out there and approach 500 women. How insane is that? And somebody said as much to you. If we look at your comment, here's your comment here. Someone literally said, dude, you're so awesome for doing 500 approaches. Do you realize how brave that is? That is focusing on the victories. That's focusing on the wins rather than focusing on the losses. And so your answer here is very simple. I'll give you, more details than just this, but the basis of it is this. If you just went out and did 500 more approaches, you'd get 7 more dates. One of those women would go on a second date with you. If you do what I'm going to tell you in a little bit, there's probably some things that you could improve a little bit, and I'll tell you about them in a second. But if you just did another 500 approaches, you'd probably get 7 more dates. In fact, you would probably have more than 7 women go on a date with you, because you would improve. You're getting better. You'd probably get more than 7 dates. You'd probably get 10, 15, who fucking knows, maybe more than that. You'd get a decent number of women going on dates with you. That would be an incredible victory. You are literally a virgin, and you have approached 500 women. Do you understand how courageous that is? Do you understand how insanely amazing that is? But you're too focused on, I get tons of rejections. Yeah, do you think I, Andy, don't get anyone rejecting me? Do you think nobody in the world ever says no to me? No, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of women have said no to me. Not tens of thousands, but hundreds of coaching or potential coaching clients have said no to me. Like, literally, people have sat on a Zoom call with me and I say, would you like coaching? And they say, no. That's a rejection. Do I ever talk about that in the content with you guys? No. Because, why the fuck would anyone care? Nobody cares about the rejections, and I don't want you to care about them. I want you to put them out of your mind. In fact, I've done enough content on this. They're not rejections, my man. You're calling them rejections. But if you go into my YouTube channel, you'll see all the content I've done talking about rejection. This one here, a rejection, a no to you is a yes to her. She's not saying no to you. She's saying yes to what she wants. Isn't that amazing? She has healthy, strong boundaries. And so she said, no, thank you. I have a boyfriend. No, thank you. I'm not interested in going on a date with you. No, thank you. I don't want to give you my phone number. That's her saying yes to what she wants. I also did this video here. I said, you secretly want to be rejected. I highly recommend you watch that video. The crux of that video is basically if everybody that you went outside and hit on said yes to you, like 100% of women said yes to you. First of all, quickly, you'd get very bored of that. What would be the point in doing anything? There'd be no challenge in it, and we love a challenge. Have you ever played video games and entered all the cheat codes? Enter God mode, enter no clip, all of the cheats. The game quickly becomes incredibly fucking boring because there's no challenge. So you secretly want some women to say no to you. The second thing to think about is if you went outside and hit on women and every single one of them said yes to you, that would include the ones that have boyfriends. So do you want every woman on the planet to cheat on their partners? Is that what you want? Do you want to live in the world of cheating where every single woman cheats on her boyfriend or her husband because you're just such a fucking stud that she has to say yes to you? You probably don't want to live in that world. So you secretly want women to reject you. Further on that, if all of the women said yes to you, that would mean that they're saying no to a bunch of other men, wouldn't it? Like, how can every woman simultaneously say yes to you and sleep with you? There would be no women left for all the other men. That would mean all the other men would see you sleeping with infinite women, which you'd probably get very tired and exhausted, but they'd see you sleeping with all the women and they would probably be very jealous and they would probably hate you. They'd probably call you a witch or something. They'd be like, man, this guy's doing some black magic or some shit. Every woman says yes to him. So you secretly want women to say yes to you. You deep down really, really, really want that. You have just been focusing on, man, I wish that they wouldn't reject me. It hurts. I get that it hurts. It only hurts because you tell a story about it and say it's bad to get rejected. But if you let go of that story and said, no, I secretly want these women to say no to me. I want some of them to say no and some of them will say yes. Brilliant. I want them to do what they want. I don't want to live in a world where everyone just does what I want just because I hit on them and I'm a little bit insecure about rejection. So work on yourself and your own stoicism and accepting that not everyone wants what you want and not everybody is going to say no to you, and the rejections will make you stronger. In fact, stop using the word rejection. You are just hurting yourself. You are literally hurting yourself with the word rejection and focusing on it. I get tons of rejection. You're hurting yourself. That statement hurts. You don't get tons of rejection. You just meet a ton of women who don't want to sleep with you. That's it. Like, it's not even about you. They're not rejecting you. They don't fucking know you. They met you for half a second or maybe 20 seconds. How can they possibly reject you? They just have a boyfriend or they're not interested or they don't want to talk to someone that they just met on the street because not everyone does. So it's not about you. Take it less personally. You say I did 500 approaches. Holy fuck, that's amazing. Only 7 dates. Only 7 dates, motherfucker. You're a virgin and you don't know what you're doing. You walked up to women that don't fucking know you and 7 of them went on a date. A little bit of gratitude, my man. Holy fuck. 7 women went on dates with you when they didn't know you. You made that happen with your own effort, your own self-improvement, your own courage. Do you understand how amazing that is? And then you say only 7 dates. No, motherfucker, take that word only out of there. Say, I went on 7 dates. Isn't that amazing? Wow, I'm courageous. Look at how much of a badass I am. Wow, I'm grateful for these 7 women for being open-minded enough to go on a date with a stranger that they don't fucking know. That's incredibly courageous of them. Holy shit. We live in a world of courage. Isn't that amazing? But you focused on the failure. Only 7 dates, but they failed. I'm sorry, how did they fail? You went on 7 dates. That's incredible. You've just moved the goalposts and said it counts as a failure if we don't go on a second date. Holy fuck, bro. You'll probably go on second dates and then go, well, we didn't have sex, so it was a failure. You'll then have sex with some of these women and you go, well, you know, she didn't stick around forever and become my girlfriend, so it was a failure. You're calling everything except her being your fucking amazing, loving girlfriend. You're counting everything before that as a failure. No, bro, you got to start focusing on the victories. We're here to play to win. We're here to focus on the wins. We're here to be grateful for the little victories. But you're saying nothing is good enough unless she becomes my girlfriend. Do you understand the pressure that that's putting on yourself? And the pressure that you're putting on these women? You're going on dates saying, if she doesn't see me for a second date and then kiss me and then have sex with me and then become my girlfriend and then we love each other forever, then it's a failure and she failed and I failed. Fuck, bro, that's a lot of like pressure that you're putting on these women and on yourself. So humble yourself a little bit more, enough to celebrate the little victories. Look at what you have done here. I went on 7 dates. I'm courageous. And these women are fucking courageous and open-minded. Isn't it nice that I found 7 open-minded women that would go on a date with a guy who has no idea what he's doing? Isn't that amazing? You know, I did 500 approaches. Isn't it amazing that I get to live in a world where I can approach 500 people and I'm allowed to do that? That's something I can choose to do. Isn't it amazing that I am courageous enough in myself to go and approach 500 women? Holy fuck, I'm a badass. Like, understand your entire post here and your struggles are self-inflicted. You have been saying that nothing you do is good enough unless you get a girlfriend. That's so much pressure to put on yourself, bro. That's why I say humble yourself. You are a virgin. You have no experience. And you're just saying, I have to run a marathon immediately and finish the marathon and come first. That's essentially what you've done. You've gone, I have to win an Olympic gold medal. Otherwise, it's not good enough. Bro, humble yourself. Pull back a little bit and say, okay, if I can just even approach one woman, that's a victory. You've already done that. If I can then approach 10 women, that's a victory. You already did that. If I could approach 100 women, holy shit. Most men go their entire lives never approaching more than maybe like 3 to 5 women ever. Maybe 10 if they're a badass. Maybe 100 if they're some sort of like fucking confident guy that can get a bit drunk and push himself to talk to some woman in a club. 100 would be amazing for a lifetime. You already did that. 500 is fucking insane, brother. You talked to 500 people you didn't know. Most people don't even talk to that many people, not even hitting on them, just talking to 500 strangers. Most people don't do that. You did that. You then went on 7 dates. Do you understand how incredibly courageous that is? You were probably fucking terrified. You're probably insecure, going, am I going to be good enough? Like, what if I don't do a good job of this? I'm 29 years old. I've never kissed anyone. You know, I'm 5'6" in height. I have no muscle. I'm skinny, fat man. I'm so insecure. I'm still going to go on this date with 7 women, bro. 7 times you were this courageous. This is insane. This is so much incredible courage from you. You're just the one saying none of it counts. It's not good enough until I get a girlfriend or until I get second dates. Bro, stop, pause, reflect on what you have done. Literally take a day or two to think about what you've just achieved here. You've done something incredible already. And now all we're doing is just getting you better at the next step. You have called this a failure. You've said, I went on 7 dates, but they failed. Fuck no, bro. The fact that you even went on 7 dates is a victory. That's a success. Again, we are here to play to win instead of playing not to lose. Focus on the victories. Focus on what you have just done, which is something insanely courageous, especially for someone with no experience and a lot of insecurity. It's obvious you have a lot of insecurity, and that's okay. Lots of people do. Insecurity can be your best friend because it can push you to improve yourself. And so, man, you are incredibly courageous. Can I give you advice on how to get a girlfriend? Keep doing what you're already doing. If you just went on 10 more dates, or maybe it would take 20 more dates, I don't know, some amount of dates, you would figure out what to do. And now, I will give you advice in a second to speed that up. But if you literally just keep doing what you have already done, you will get the thing that you want. You will be the man that you want to be. You already fucking are the man that you want to be. You're already courageous as hell, man. You're already pushing through your insecurities. You don't even know what you're doing. It's very clear. You know, you're unkissed, you're a virgin. You don't know what you're doing, and yet you're taking all this fucking action. You didn't wait for someone to sit there and say, hey, make sure you go out and approach 500 women. You just did it. You are already doing the very thing that will lead you to victory. The only thing that's left is to keep doing what you're doing. And so the answer here isn't to avoid rejection. In fact, it's go get rejected more. And you're not getting rejected. They're just saying, I don't want to sleep with you, but that's not a rejection. But go get rejected more. You've done 500 approaches, do 500 more. You've gone on 7 dates, go on 10 more dates, go on 20 more dates, go on as many dates as it takes. You are a courageous, insane individual. You probably don't even need me to give you any advice, which is why I'm speaking so passionately here, because I'm trying to fucking grab you and shake you and be like, bro, look what you've fucking done. You've already done the thing that you're saying you want to do. Now just keep fucking doing it. I'm trying to inject some passion and some motivation into you because you are a courageous, badass individual. You've already done something amazing. Now, would you like some advice on what to do on these first dates? Sure. I've done tons of content on what to talk about and all of that, and essentially none of that matters, but make sure you're doing the bare minimum after the date. So things like, hey, I had such a fun time. I'm really looking forward to having a second date with you. Make it really clear that you find them pretty, that you're attracted to them. Literally say that on the date. Wow, you're so pretty. Just say that at some point. Or when you first hug her, say, wow, you're so pretty. Like, wow, you're prettier than I remember when I first talked to you. Like, say something like that. Make her feel very pretty. You can hold her hand if you want to. You can kiss her if you want to. If you're nervous to do those things, just do what I do and what I get all of my coaching clients to do. Just ask her, bro. Just be like, can I hold your hand? And she'll go, yes, or she'll say no. Then you hold her hand. You say, you're so pretty. Can I kiss you? She'll either say yes, or she'll say not now, or she'll say not yet, or no, thank you. And then you just ask her again later on in the date, or at the end of the date, or on the second date. So make it more clear that you're into them. Make it more clear that you find her pretty. Make it more clear that you're sexually interested in her, or at least like romantically, or I guess you would say intimately into her. I don't know if you're already doing that. After the date, as soon as the date is finished, make it abundantly clear that you want to see her again. Like literally say, I had so much fun. I would really like to see you for a second date. When are you next free? Make it really obvious that you want that second date. I don't know what you're doing on the date. And by the way, this is one of the challenges of like answering people's comments is like, I have to guess what you mean. Like I can't just ask you, we can't go back and forwards and I can get more details. I have no idea what you're doing on the dates. Like I don't know where you're hanging out, if you're going to a bar, if you're going to a Starbucks, if you're going to a park. I don't know if you are telling her that she's pretty during the date or if it's more platonic. If 7 women went on a date with you, but none of them went on a second date, that would tell me probably one of two things, which I'm guessing is that either you didn't make it clear that you want a second date, like explicitly saying, I had so much fun, I'm really looking forward to a second date with you, or you might not on the first date be making it clear that you're sexually interested in her or intimately interested in her. You're pretty. Can I hold your hand? Can I kiss you? Wow, you're so sexy. Oh my God, you have the prettiest smile. Like any of that. Just like literally anything that's a compliment to the other person and their appearance and your attraction to them. So you're probably not doing either of those things. But again, I don't know because it's a comment. If you want to, you're very welcome to hit me up for one of the $200 coaching calls and then we could sit there and go back and forwards. Like that's an option, but I'm trying to guess here. And so I'm guessing that you might not be making it as apparent that you want a second date. Again, if these women have met you in person because you approached them, they already know what you look like. They know your height. They know everything about you because they just fucking seen you. If they're going on a first date with you, to some extent, they are interested in you. If you're making it clear that you actually want a romantic date, is that something you're doing? Or are you sort of playing it safe when you approach them? Are you approaching them as a friend and not telling them, hey, you're so pretty, like you're so cute, you're so hot, you're so attractive, I'm really into you? Like, are you making it clear when you hit on them that you want to go on a proper date? Or is it more like a friendship playing it safe? Yeah, so if you're currently playing it safe, stop doing that. Start making it more clear. Play to win, be honest about what you want. I'm intimately attracted to you. I find you attractive. I find you pretty. I find you hot. You're so sexy. Like any of those sort of things. Say that when you first approach them. Like, wow, hey, you're so pretty. And I had to come say, hey, what's your name? And then you shake her hand, you talk for a little bit, you get her phone number. And when you text her, you say, hey, I'd love to grab a drink with you, or I'd love to go on a date with you. I'd love to grab a coffee with you and get to know each other a little better. And then on the date, you're pretty, you're attractive, all of that. So do all of that if you're not already doing that. But man, you are already incredibly courageous. And any advice that I give you is literally me just going to be saying, keep doing what you're doing. You're already incredibly courageous. You're just focusing on the rejections, and that's okay. That's what most people do. Most people play not to lose. They're so afraid of losing. They're so afraid of rejection. They're so afraid of being turned down. They're so afraid of failure. They're so afraid of mistakes that that's what they obsess about. But, as I said earlier, I get tons of rejections. Who gives a fuck? 7 dates failed. Who gives a fuck? There was no second date. Who gives a fuck? I'm unkissed. Who gives a fuck? I'm 5'6" in height. Who gives a fuck? I have no muscle. Who gives a fuck? I have a little bit of skinny fat. Who gives a fuck? Like that's all you're focusing on, the bad parts or the negatives. Each one of those is a chance for improvement. Each one of those can be a good thing. You're 5'6" in height. Beautiful. Date some women that are younger than you. You're probably already doing that. You went on 6 dates. That proves to you that your height doesn't fucking matter as much as you think it does. I have no muscles. Who gives a fuck? You went on 7 dates, brother. Just go to the gym and add a bit more muscle. I'm a little bit skinny fat. Yeah, so am I right now, brother. Like, who gives a shit? Plenty of women still sleep with me. Plenty of women will sleep with you. So you're doing an awesome job. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. And my God, you are courageous. I hope that comes across in this video. Like, I hope it's obvious how inspired by you I am. The fact that you're a virgin and you've approached 500 women, you actually remind me. I don't think you're the same guy. Yeah, you would have fucking said something, but and you're different ages anyway. There's a guy in my coaching group who you remind me of. He's literally like you. He goes out clubbing and he approaches like fucking 15 women a night, and he's a virgin and he has no idea what he's doing, but he will just approach 15 women a night, and he's going out several nights a week and just getting phone numbers, and he doesn't really know what he's doing, and he's really scared and really insecure and all of that stuff. But you remind me a lot of him, and that's a very high compliment. If you knew this guy, you'd be like, holy shit, thank you for that compliment. So you are incredibly courageous. You're doing an amazing job. I am so unbelievably inspired by you. Keep doing what you're doing. Just make it more apparent to the women what you want. Be more honest and upfront. Like, I find you sexy. Can I kiss you? You're so pretty. Like, say all of that stuff on the date, and then say, hey, I really want a second date with you. You're really attractive. I had such a blast. You're so fun. I had a great time. But yeah, man, you are doing such an amazing job. I'm inspired by you. All right, you incredibly courageous, amazing people. Let's do one more. We'll do 2 of these per video, I think. And so this comes from Carrot Potato 0. What a username. Lost as fuck. Yeah, like a lot of human beings, my friend. That's very common, I promise. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, like a lot of human beings, my friend. During the fucking World War II and times like that, it felt like half of the world went insane and believed in Nazism, literally followed the Nazis because they don't know the difference between right and wrong. You know, that's happened throughout human history. Soviet Union, like, how many times have people throughout history literally not been able to tell when someone is a psychopathic, murderous rampager? They literally can't tell. If people can't tell that Hitler is evil and is going to go and commit falsehood and evil on the world and kill people innocently, if people can't tell that, then yeah, it's pretty common that you can't tell what's right and wrong. That's just the structure of the brain, the way that humans are. We innocently believe things. Our brain just believes things. So we'll believe something and then it turns out to be wrong. Like, we often don't know something until after the fact. So hindsight is 2020, as the saying goes. But yeah, man, that's very much why I focus on, don't worry about what's right and wrong. Focus on your principles and what's important to you. In other words, what do you want and what do you believe? That's what I say focus on. I don't have any security in me as a sexual being. I don't see my worth. I don't think I can fuck people properly. So does your entire worth have to be based on you as a sexual being? Like, can you find worth somewhere else? You know, just because you don't think you can fuck people, why does that mean that you don't have any worth? Like, do you think Buddhist monks who take a vow of like chastity have no worth? Or do you think they're going to contribute a lot to the world? Does the Dalai Lama contribute nothing to the world? No. He wins the Nobel Peace Prize. He goes and talks to leaders. He's incredibly, influential on the world at large. He has a lot of worth, but he doesn't fuck people. He probably can't fuck for shit. I think he's a virgin. I think that's part of, you take a vow of chastity. I may be wrong on that, but I think you do take a vow of chastity. Mother Teresa changed the entire world. She died a virgin. Lots of people who are like that contribute a hell of a lot to the world, but they don't know how to fuck. They're not interested in it. That's not important to them. And now, if it is important to you, if it's something that you want, then hell yeah, I'll help you with that throughout this video. But that alone is not your worth, my friend. That's you objectifying yourself. And it's funny that women often say, like, don't objectify me, I'm more than just my body. I'm more than just a sexual being. You're doing the same thing, my brother. Men often do that, don't we? We say, if I can't fuck, or if I'm a virgin, then I have no worth. And we reduce ourselves down to just a penis and just our sexual ability. But you're more than that, dude. And we'll talk about that in a second. He goes on to say, I don't think I can fuck people properly, as if I don't have it, as if I'm some sort of fluffy, nice guy that can't be someone strong and secure, that can provide the roughness and desire. It feels as if I'm unworthy. No, you tell yourself that you're unworthy. As if I can't, and it hurts. I would like to have the right energy to be desired in a rough way. I'm not okay with being as I am. I think you had a typo there. I'm not sure how to make this change and become real without looking pathetic at it. Okay, so that last statement is the ego, my friend. And I'm not calling you egotistical, but I'm saying the structure of the brain and the ego that we all have. I have an ego too. The ego part of us is like, I have to somehow be good at something, which is essentially what your entire comment here is. I have to be good at sex, but I'm not allowed to suck at it at the start. So I can't improve at it, which part of improving means you literally are not as good at something at the start as you will be at the end. That is literally what improvement means. It means you went from a certain, let's say, decency, a certain talent, a certain skill level to more skill. Like literally you learned more, you improved, you got better. That is the definition of improvement. So you got better at something, but you're literally saying, I should somehow be good at something, but I'm not allowed to improve. You see how you're wanting kind of two literally diametrically opposed things? They're mutually exclusive. Part of improvement means you go from your current skill level to a higher skill level, which means your current skill level is going to be lower than where you want to be. But you're saying that's not good enough. I can't look pathetic at it. And so, my friend, a big amount of the advice that I'm going to give you is a big, healthy dose of humility, letting go, giving yourself permission to suck. That's why I talk about it in this channel all the time. You know, you're never going to improve if you don't admit the fact that where you are right now is not where you want to be in the future. In other words, you're not as good right now as you want to be in the future. You might not be the guy that can fuck really well if that's something that's important to you. You might not be very good at that like masculine, rough energy. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're referring to. You might not be good at that. Do you think that I just somehow magically woke up and I knew how to do kink and, kinky sex and have lots of sex and threesomes, and I knew how to have boundaries and stoicism and masculinity? Fuck no. I've talked about it enough on this channel, where I came from and where I am now. These are just skills that you learn, my friend. How do you get decent at sex? By giving yourself permission to suck. You're just the one who says I shouldn't suck at it, even though I feel like I currently do suck at it, and that's lowering my self-worth. In other words, I'm judging myself for not being good at something, but I should just somehow be good at that thing without the process of self-improvement. Fuck you, that's not how it works, brother. I say that with love, but bro, fuck you. You're just wanting the results without putting in the work. Bro, I put in so much work to get to where I am right now. Do you know how many times I was insecure and I didn't want to look pathetic at something, but I just said, fuck it, man, I'm going to look pathetic. And sometimes I did look a bit pathetic. Sometimes people told me I looked a bit pathetic. Sometimes people criticized me. Sometimes I got laughed at. Sometimes I laughed at myself. Usually we are our own biggest critics. So most of the time people were nice and I was the one judging myself. But bro, I put in the effort. I ran towards the things that terrified me. I didn't just wake up somehow being confident, having boundaries, being full of joy and abundance and all of that. I earned that. You're saying you want the end result without earning it. This is something that you earn. And I talked about this in a podcast. I mean, hell, I've talked about this in like 100 podcasts. But if you go onto my Spotify, so my Spotify is just called Andy Wells, same as this YouTube channel, I have this podcast, confidence/competence/efficiency. You're wanting confidence. That's what you're wanting. Is something that you earn, bro. You got to earn that. You don't just get that. You don't just get to sit there and say like, I want to be confident in the bedroom. I want to be confident in my sexual abilities. I want to feel like I can fuck people properly. Bro, earn that. Bro, earn that. Earn it. How do you earn it? By fucking sucking at it, bro, and being very honest about that. Being honest with yourself, but your ego, or the ego part of you, I can just say, I guess your ego, and I mean that with love, bro, but it's your big ego right now that says, I should just somehow be good at sex. Fuck you, earn that. Dude, all the rest of us earned that. And so that involves you sucking at the start. That involves you not knowing what you're doing and then researching and Googling. I talked about that too in a video. This video here called Accept Where You Currently Are, Then Improve It, the map analogy. And I literally said, if you're wanting to go from one place to another, and you pull up Google Maps or you pull up Apple Maps or whatever, and you say like, I want to go from A to B. I want to get to B. I want to go to fucking, I don't know, McDonald's restaurant. Your mapping software will say, okay, where are you right now? You have to share your location with me. Tell me where you are right now. Imagine if you just said, it doesn't matter where I am right now. Where I am right now is not good enough. I need to hurry up and get to McDonald's. The mapping software would be like, yeah, great, but I need to know where you are right now so I can tell you what to start how to start getting there. I need to know where you currently are. But imagine if you were just like, no, I'm too scared of admitting where I am right now. I have too much of an ego in the way to admit that right now I am not where I want to be. I just need to get to McDonald's. Please just take me to McDonald's. The mapping software can't help you. And so, brother, the same thing happens here. If you don't admit that right now you're not where you want to be, or right now you might not be very good at sex, you might not be good at having that masculine, strong energy, that secure, strong energy that you're wanting, brilliant, beautiful energy, you might not have that right now. You're the one just saying like, yeah, but I shouldn't be here right now. I should just suddenly fucking have it. Bro, admit where you are right now. And you might say, but I have admitted it. I wrote it here. No, but you're arguing with it. You're the one saying it's not good enough. You're the one saying I'm not good enough just because I am where I am right now. Talk about an argument with reality. That's got to be a heavy burden, bro. Like you being where you are right now, but then saying you shouldn't be there. You probably wake up every day in pain, I'm guessing. Like you probably in a fucking existential crisis, bro. You probably look in the mirror and fucking hate yourself, right? Because you're arguing with where you are right now. Instead, take a deep breath, and this will require humility. This will require letting go. This will require some surrender to where you are right now and saying, okay, he's right. I'm not very good at sex. I even wrote it in this fucking comment. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with women. I don't know how to be masculine. I don't know how to, improve myself. I don't know how to fuck. I don't know how to have sex. Okay. All right. Now, what do I want to do about it? But you're the one that's fighting it and arguing with it and spending all this time beating up on yourself saying, I don't see my worth. That worth is there. You're just saying it doesn't count. How do I know that? Go get a piece of paper, write down 50 things about yourself that are worthwhile or worthy or lovable. I have done enough fucking content on this channel talking about you're doing great. You're full of love. You're an amazing person. Accept where you are right now and let's improve it. I have a fucking playlist on my YouTube channel called Peace and Happiness. You are doing great. Go and watch that video. How to improve your mental health and be happy. Go watch that freaking video. Are you grateful for what you have and who you are and your current worth? Go watch that video. How to stop beating yourself up and have a positive mindset. Go watch that video. I can only be happy when I get what I want. Oh my God, that is you. Go and watch that video. You are good enough. That's me with my chubby little body. Go and watch that video. You said at the start of your comment, if we look at your comment again, I don't know what's right and what's wrong. Watch this video. Are you living your life correctly? I literally talk about how we put all this pressure on ourselves to know what's right and know what's wrong and know what we should be doing. And we look to other people and we say, what should I do? Who should I be? It's like, that's up to you to figure out. So I talk about that in that video. You are choosing to be unhappy. How to be stoic. Go watch that video. Are you never truly happy? Go watch that video. If you're insecure, that's okay. Go watch that video. The map analogy that I mentioned before, go watch that video. You've been told what you're supposed to want rather than you asking yourself what you want. Go watch that video. Basically every single fucking video in this playlist, again, it's called Peace, Happiness. It's just on my YouTube channel, relates to you and answers your question. But part of this is going to be accepting where you are right now. Again, I don't know how you're supposed to just somehow magically be good at sex if you haven't had a lot of sexual experience and practice. That literally doesn't make any sense. I really sucked at sex at the start. I sucked at relationships. God knows I have done enough content about how I sucked and how I had doubts and insecurities. Just search my channel for the word doubt or insecurity or uncertain, sad, depressed, happy, any of those terms. Search my Spotify channel as well. Search my YouTube, my blog, killyourinalloser.com. I have talked about these topics a lot, my man, but you're just putting this insane pressure on yourself that you have to somehow be good at something when you haven't practiced it. That's insane. That's literally insane. That's like walking onto a basketball court for the first time and thinking you're going to be LeBron James or fucking Steph Curry or some shit. You shoot the little fucking basketball and you miss by a country mile and you're like, why do I suck? I have no worth. I can't see my worth because I suck at basketball. Everyone would be like, bro, you're fucking insane. You're going to have to shoot hoops like 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 times before you get good. Like, why are you just expecting you're going to wander onto the basketball court and suddenly know how to shoot? You're not. You're not going to know anything. The same with this. You're literally saying I should just wander into the bedroom and somehow be good at fucking. How? How would that work? And then you use that as a stick to beat yourself up with and to say, I can't see my worth. No, you're choosing not to see your worth. You're choosing to beat yourself up because it's fun. It's fucking fun to beat ourselves up and compare ourselves. We get a payoff from that. We jerk ourselves off over beating ourselves up. It's almost like a masochistic, sadistic pleasure. But at some point, you're going to have to humble yourself enough to say, I'm not good at sex. Okay, let me improve. I'm not good at having that strength and that security. Let me improve. There's a ton of books on that. I Need Your Love, Is That True by Byron Katie is a really good book to start with. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. No More Mr. Nice Guy. When I Say No, I Feel Guilty. Any of these books can really help. My Play to Win video course obviously helps a lot, but your strength and security and your masculinity is something that you improve. Like, again, I didn't just wake up one day having boundaries and liking myself and loving myself and being strong and masculine and all of that. It took practice. It took years. It took figuring out. It took so-called failures and mistakes. Not that there are failures or mistakes. They're learning lessons. But you're so afraid of looking pathetic at it. Bro, why don't you just go look pathetic and at least you'll improve. The quicker you can look pathetic, the quicker you will start learning. Again, as I mentioned with the previous guy, that's in my Play to Win video course in the chapter, Play to Win instead of playing not to lose. You're so focused on, I don't want to look pathetic. I don't want to fail. I don't want to get rejected. What if I look bad? What if I look stupid? You're never going to fucking improve. If you search on my Spotify, there are so many podcasts I've done where I talk about failure. This one's probably the most relevant. I have failed more times than you have even tried. That is true for probably most of you out there. Especially if we look at your comment, I'm worried about looking pathetic at it. Bro, I have looked pathetic more times than you have even tried. I have looked stupid. I have looked like I don't know what I'm doing. I've been criticized. I've made so-called mistakes and failures. I've looked like a fucking retard more times than you have even tried. I have another video on failure. This one here, you will achieve more in failure than most people will achieve in success. Actually, that one's not out yet. That's coming out next month, but look out for that. I literally talk about how even if you attempt something and you fail and you look pathetic, you would have learned something. You'll learn and achieve more than most people ever fucking achieve in their life because they're so afraid of failure, they don't try. Just like you, you're so afraid of looking pathetic or making a mistake or not being good at sex or not being good at something that you're not trying. You're not putting yourself out there. Here's a podcast I did about what to do when I fail. Basically, the short term is whenever I fail, I go easy on myself. I be kind to myself, and then I just get back up and keep going. Want confidence? Fail more, not less. Your big fear of like, what if I look pathetic? If you look pathetic more often, you will win more often. Similar to that, this podcast here, if you want 10 times the wins, just 10 times your failures or your rejections. That's the easiest, simplest way to win 10 times as much. Literally go out there and get rejected 10 times as much because it will mean you're putting in 10 times the amount of the numbers, like the amount of effort. And so you could rewrite that statement to, if you want 10 times the wins, just 10 times how many times you look pathetic. Like, go look pathetic. This thing that you're terrified of is not even that freaking scary, my friend. Like, I look pathetic at it. Cool. Who's going to call you pathetic? Probably you. You're the one that thinks that more than anyone else. And that good news is that's something you can work on. How? Go write a list of 50 reasons why you're likable or why you're worthy. Like, go do that right now. Probably pause this video and don't even listen to the rest of what I'm going to say. Go and write a list of 50 things about yourself that mean you have worth. Go find the reasons why you have worth. And if you don't think you have worth, then go work on that. Go help old ladies cross the street, and now you have worth as a kind human being. Go practice your sexual skills, and now you have some worth as a sexual man. Go lose weight if you feel like that would benefit you. Now you have worth as like an attractive, skinny, decent looking guy. Go gain some muscle. Now you have that strength that you're looking for. Go get the things that you're seeking. But all of this is just self-improvement stuff. But I would start with the mindset stuff and the self-love. So 50 things about yourself that are worthy. I would go into the bathroom mirror every day and make a habit of this. Look into your own eyes and say, I love you. Or in your case, you might want to say something like, you have worth, or you are worthy. Go and say that to yourself in your own eyes in the mirror every day. Maybe say that 5 times a fucking day, Or you could say, right now, you're not who you want to be in the future, and that's okay. Or you could look into your own eyes and say, you're doing your best, and you're just going to aim to be a little bit better every day. That's all we're doing here, bro. You're the one that's saying that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that you're a loser, that you, just because you can't fuck and because you don't feel masculine and strong, that you're somehow not good enough. You have a lot of worth. Bro, there are people, fuck, man. You want me to pull out my ace of spades, or what's it called? My ace in the sleeve? Nick Vujicic, and any of you OGs of the channel probably guessed I was going to bring my man Nick up. Nick has no arms and no fucking legs. His whole freaking childhood, he was worried that he would have no worth. You want to talk about worth, bro? Would you rather have no arms and no legs? Or would you rather have everything that you have right now? I'd rather have everything I have right now, even if I didn't like myself. I'd prefer that to having no arms and no legs. And yet this guy found ways to be worthy, found ways to add value to the lives of other people. He even has a wife and a beautiful family of 4 kids. Look at that. Her name's Kanye. She's an absolute sweetheart. She's incredibly fucking courageous, and obviously so is he. And look at that beautiful family. He birthed these children. Well, he and his wife technically birthed them, but you know what I mean. He and his wife birthed these beautiful children in this great family. You could easily say this man has no worth. He has no arms and no legs. He tried to kill himself when he was 8 years old. He tried to drown himself in the bathtub because he thought he had no worth. But he was able to find, you know what? I do have worth. I can love people. I can motivate people. I can be a motivational speaker. I can be the miracle in other people's lives instead of just sitting around waiting for a miracle. And that's what you're trying to do here. You're basically saying, I want a miracle. That's what you're demanding of the universe with your comment, my friend. You're saying I should just somehow be good at sex without practicing it and without ever looking pathetic at it, without ever failing or getting rejected or making a mistake. I should just somehow be strong and secure and masculine and provide that roughness without ever learning those skills. You're asking for a fucking miracle from the universe. And no, fuck you. That's not how that works. You know, I say that with love. I've probably told you fuck you a few times in this podcast. I just want you to know, like, every time I say that, I'm trying to, it's like my attempt to slap you and like slap some sense into you. But maybe I'll stop saying that as much, brother. I love you. I have nothing but love for you. I'm sorry I said fuck you a few times. But yeah, basically, like, I'm trying to shake up your ego, that ego part of you that just demands from the universe that I should just suddenly be good at something. I should suddenly be strong and secure. I should suddenly be able to provide that roughness. I should suddenly just love myself. I should suddenly just see my worth. I should suddenly just have security and confidence in myself as a sexual being. I should suddenly just know the difference between right and wrong. I should just suddenly not be lost anymore. I should just suddenly have all this shit without putting the effort in. That's demanding a miracle from the universe, bro. And just like Nick Vujicic, you know, the man with no arms and no legs, instead of demanding a miracle from the universe, why don't you be that miracle? Like, that is your opportunity here, my man. You hear me say it at the start of every video, don't I? I went from depressed and suicidal to living a life of abundance and joy. I was quite literally suicidal for like 8 years. I wanted to fucking die. I then went to prison when I was like 20 or 21, somewhere around that, like 21. I went to fucking prison, bro. I was depressed and suicidal. I went to fucking prison. My life was a complete fucking mess, and I had a big meltdown, obviously. Really wanted to fucking die. Was agoraphobic, couldn't leave the house. And then look at all the beautiful things that I have in my life now that I'm now able to share with all of you, and then help, hopefully, inspire a lot of you to do the same thing and make your own transformation. You, my friend, have the opportunity right here to be that miracle. You're someone who's lost as fuck. Imagine if you found a little bit more direction in your life, just one baby step at a time. You say you don't know what's right and wrong. Imagine if you started to figure that out just one day at a time. You don't have to do it all at once, one day at a time. I don't have any security in me. Imagine if you turned that statement, over the next couple of years into, you know what? I love myself. Like, imagine if you could get a little closer to that point. Imagine if you woke up one day and you said, you know what? I think I'm actually a pretty sexual being and I'm pretty good with this. I think the people that I sleep with and that I date and that I'm in relationships with seem to really love my sexual abilities and how I'm able to give them pleasure and intimacy and affection and love. And it took me quite a few years to get here. It was like quite a lot of work and I had a lot of insecurity and I just let myself feel that. And I beat myself up a lot, but I was okay with that. And I just tried to insert a little bit more love each day. And now I'm pretty good at sex. Imagine you go from, I'm not secure in myself sexually, to, I think I'm pretty decent at sex. Isn't that nice? I'm really grateful. You talk here about, like, I feel like I'm some sort of fluffy, nice guy that can never be, strong and secure for someone and give someone that desire, that roughness and that security and that, like, care, looking after them. Imagine you go from that to, wow, my girlfriend or my wife or my kids or whatever, yeah, they say that I'm a strong masculine presence in their life and they're really grateful for me. Wow, I remember when I just felt like a loser and I was like a fluffy, nice guy, and no one, I couldn't provide for anyone. Now I feel like I actually have a positive impact on other people's lives. Wow, I came a long way. You say here, I feel like I'm unworthy. Imagine you're able to look into your own eyes in the mirror one day and actually say, you're worthy. And then a big smile comes on your face and you go, yeah, I am. Yeah. And you look into your own eyes, you say, I love you. And then you giggle, you're like, yeah, I love myself. Like, imagine you genuinely feel it. That's what I feel when I look in the mirror. Do you think I felt like that when I was depressed and suicidal? Fuck no, my brother. The furthest thing from that. I couldn't even look into my own eyes in the mirror. I probably would have just smashed the mirror and broken my fucking hand and glass in it and bleeding, and then I would have screamed and cried and fucking cut my throat. I couldn't look in the mirror. And I've gone from that to every day now for the last like 2 or 3 years. I look into my own eyes in the mirror and I say, I love you. And every time, I mean, I can just show you right now what happens. I go, I love you. And then like a big fucking smile comes on my face. And I'm like, yeah, isn't that nice? Wow, I love this man. I love this guy with, his brain and his body and his heart and his soul. Yeah, I'm really grateful that I get to be me. I went from I want to fucking die to I'm really grateful that I get to be me. You have that same opportunity. The universe has presented you an opportunity for a miracle. The universe has already given you a miracle. The fact that this is where you are right now and you have unlimited potential, I am proof of that. So are plenty of other people who've come through the coaching program and people that I know that have gone on to do those things. Some of my friends, people like Ravi, shout outs to Ravi, one of the pillars of this sort of community that we have. He often leaves a YouTube comment. He's someone that went from depressed and suicidal and fucking unlovable and felt like he didn't know what he was doing with women. He was a virgin at 29 and all of that, to where he is now, where he talks about abundance and love and gratitude and all of that. And so you have an opportunity. You already have this miracle. The universe has given you this miracle. Like Nick Vujicic, no arms and no legs, bro, that's your fucking opportunity. That is your opportunity to inspire a lot of other people and get your life together, which he did. And it took him a long fucking time. Got his life together so that he can be that miracle in other people's lives, so that he can be that inspiration. That's why I sit here in front of you today, to try and inspire others of you to go, okay, I was depressed and suicidal, or Andy was depressed and suicidal, and now he's not. Now he's pretty happy. He's got a girlfriend that loves him. They've been together for 6.5 years. They've had all this cool, fun, intimate, crazy sex, and they make money. We did a video recently about how we just made $40,000 in the last month. Like, wow, he built this business. Wow, he gets a life that he really is grateful for and happy with. Holy fuck, if that guy was literally wanting to kill himself and went to fucking prison and now he gets there, damn, boy, like maybe I can improve myself too. You get to be that. And it will take time. I'm going to be very honest with you. It will take time. That's why I say give yourself permission to suck and then take one baby step every day. There are going to be lots of days that you don't feel like taking a baby step. There are going to be lots of days that you feel like quitting, that you feel like giving up. God knows I've had 10 million of them. I've had more of those days than you could ever possibly imagine. I've had more days of insecurity and doubt and like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? Who the fuck do I think I am to sit here on a YouTube channel coaching other people? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a fucking loser. I've had 10 million of those days, my friend, but you just gently push through those days, or you allow yourself to feel those feelings and that insecurity, and you be okay with that as best as you can. You won't be perfect with it. That's okay. You're the one saying that you have to be perfect in this comment, but no, you fucking don't. And you just slowly improve your sexual skills. You slowly improve your confidence. You slowly improve your self-love, which is something I would definitely work on in your case. Again, go watch that playlist on my YouTube channel, the Peace and Happiness playlist. Just binge watch all those videos. Like, honestly, binge watch those videos. Grab my Play to Win video course, binge watch that, then fucking watch it a second time. Go learn about stoicism, read all those books, all of that stuff. Work on your masculinity, work on these things that you want. These are beautiful goals. You have written some really beautiful goals here, my friend. I want to be someone's strength and security. I want to provide that roughness and that desire. I want to look after people, basically, is what you're saying. I want to provide women. I'm assuming you're into women. You haven't said, but I'm assuming you're into women. If you're into men, great. But I want to provide people that I'm into with that strength, that security, that sexual roughness, that desire, that beautiful intimacy and that pleasure and that just great safe place that they can be in where they trust me. And they open up and they're vulnerable with me and I'm a bit vulnerable with them and we just explore each other and it's beautiful. That's an incredible fucking goal, my friend. That's amazing. Go make that happen. But that's going to require some humility. It's going to require the admission that you suck right now, and that's okay. Sucking is not a bad thing. You're the one who just says it is a bad thing. But admit right now that you're not good at it. You haven't practiced it. How on earth could you be good at it? Practice it a little bit, improve at it each day. But this is a beautiful set of goals. So go be that miracle that you're wishing the universe would just hand you, because it is asking for a miracle, saying, I wish I was good at something that I haven't really had a lot of practice with. That's just begging for a fucking miracle. You may as well go around rubbing old lamps and saying, I hope a genie will grant all my wishes. That's what you're doing. Go be that miracle, bro. Go inspire other people. Again, I sit here trying to inspire people precisely because I worked through all of my own insecurities. I still have, some left, obviously, but I worked through a lot of insecurities. I worked through most of my pain and my suffering and my doubt and all of that stuff because I knew the light at the end of the tunnel would be maybe I get to a place where I'm a little bit happier and more peaceful. And then maybe my journey, if I document it, which is what I've aimed to do, if I document my self-improvement journey, maybe other people will be able to like follow in my footsteps, and maybe I can save them a little bit of time because other people saved me time by documenting their journeys and their self-improvement. Maybe I can pay that forward. That can be you. You could start a YouTube channel one day. You could start a blog. You could just be an inspiration in other people's lives without even meaning to. Just the very act of you lifting yourself up lifts other people up because they get inspired by you. You don't even have to say anything. If other people just see you starting to be a bit more happy, a bit more masculine, a bit more strong, having firmer, healthier, stronger boundaries, all of that, you will accidentally inspire some of your friends and the people around you. You'll also just have more self-love and you'll love yourself more, which means you have more love to give to other people. You will smile at people outside more. You'll just be friendlier to the cashier at your grocery store. You will talk to old ladies. You'll pat dogs. You'll be nice to cats. You'll just be nicer to the world because you like yourself. And so that will be you sharing a beautiful gift to the world. You can be that miracle for the world, but that's got to come from you, brother, rather than sitting around saying, I'm praying for a miracle. I'm praying that one day I'm just somehow good at sex when I haven't practiced at it. I'm somehow masculine when I don't know how to be. I'll somehow just know the difference between right and wrong when I have no idea where to even start. Bro, be that fucking miracle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will wrap it up there. I am going to go through all the rest of your comments. Just give me maybe like, I don't know, I'm even thinking like 2 or 3 weeks. Like a lot of you replied, and there's even more of you replying every single day, writing more and more stuff. So I promise I will get through everyone's comments. I'll probably just do them in videos like this so that this can count towards my content for my YouTube channel. So I don't have to, on top of that, do extra work. So I will get through all your comments. I really appreciate and admire all of you for opening up. Like the 2 of you that I just did comments for today. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys and girls are incredibly courageous. Like, I can't believe you just open up to strangers on the internet. You know, maybe you feel like you know me a little bit. Like, you don't really know me, obviously. This content is not really entirely who I am. You're only seeing like a small portion of who I am. But essentially, I'm sort of like a stranger to you. And the YouTube comments are definitely strangers to you. You don't know everyone in the comments. And the fact that you opened up and were this courageous, holy crap, you guys and girls continue to inspire me. So, with love, I bid you goodbye. Go out there, crush those goals. Grab my Play to Win video course if you think that's interesting to you. You think that'll help you. It will help pretty much all of you, but if you want to grab that, I also have coaching. I will leave a link in the description below to that. The 2 guys that I helped and anyone else that I'm going to help, you're very welcome to do those $200 coaching calls with me. You can just grab, those are 1 per person, but you're very welcome to grab 1 of those each. Because like I said, it's easier for me to go back and forwards with you if I can actually fucking see you and talk to you rather than make a lot of assumptions in a YouTube comment. But either way, even if you don't do that, hopefully this YouTube video at least helped you a little bit. But yeah, both of you, go be the miracles for the world that you're wishing the world would just go for you. You know, instead of sitting around saying, I wish I could have a miracle, go be that fucking miracle.